First, I want to give condolences out to the young brother. Was it Giovanni Pelletier? Pelletier. I want to give the condolences out to his family. Hope I said his name right. If not, forgive me, because this is tragic. What happened to him? I mean, y'all heard the story where supposedly his mom took him to his dad's family's house to kick it with his cousins or what have you. And she tried to make him out to be, you know, a perfect young guy. I mean, which most parents will do that. They'll be like, my son's like, straight A student, never hurt nobody, never did nothing wrong, loved everybody loved him, life of the party, what I'm saying, so on and so forth. But when you see the story, you see that he was a teenager. And no, he was, I mean, and he did teenage things. I mean, come on. We all got to stop, playing like we don't know. Because we were all teenagers once before. Even if your child sits there and pretends like, well, not pretends like, could be a straight A student. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Keeps his room clean. Nicest brothers and sisters, whatever the case may be. Still, he's going to do teenage things. Had a homeboy in school with back in the day. Was, I think I told the story, was square, nerd. That's what we all thought. Then in high school, got his first piece. He was a senior, I believe. Junior or senior. I think he was a senior. Got his first piece, fell in love, and man, he went spiraling. I also think he had like issues at home too. But I mean, he recovered. Yeah, he mentioned recovered. But I mean, that senior year was like weird because that just wasn't my homeboy. That wasn't the dude I knew since like junior high. Same dude I told you that used to work like at McDonald's in junior high, working like overtime hours and stuff like that. But anyway, you just never know people. People, you just never know how people will react when they get in certain situations because he got, reacted to a situation that, that I didn't, sure, it didn't deter me from going to school. I wasn't skipping class like that. And just in the third. But anyway, it's a whole different story. I'm sorry. Telling my life story. It ain't about me. So, like I said, this is just a tragic story of, young brother being a teenager and just got caught up with the wrong stuff. But I want to play some of this press conference. Probably I don't know if I'm gonna just let it play out or but I will put the description. I will put the link in the description box so y'all can sit here and watch it in its entirety for yourself. But I just want y'all to get the details of what happened and why it happened and how parents you have to keep an eye on your children. You have to. You have to know who their friends are. You have to know what your children are doing. I don't give a damn if it's 16, 17. Hell, I don't give a damn if they're 25. They live in your house. They should be abiding by your rules. You just can't let them do anything they want. And you got to be nosy and you got to go in their room and kick the door down sometime and start going through drawers. You just have to. They can get pissed off all they want to, but you're trying to keep them out of trouble. You doing this for your own sanity, not to be their friends or whatever. But I'm not questioning the mom's parenting skills because I don't know. But like I say, when the tragedy happens, a lot of times people say, don't speak on the obvious. It's not a teaching moment. Don't start, you're victim blaming. There's no such thing as victim blaming. That's the problem. People don't want to be told the truth. And the best time to teach a lesson is when something happens and it's fresh on people's minds to where you can be like, hey, this is how this see what happened. This is why you have to do this, and the third. Even if the tragedy, becomes ends in death, you still have to, still got to teach. That's your job. But anyway, let's get into it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. When you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Like I said, we're going to play some of this. I'm going to be skipping through it because there's some points I want to hit. And then we'll conclude the video. Like I said, I just may let it play out. I don't know. Let's hit it.
I'm here to get an update on the Giovanni Pelletier case, death investigation. But before I get started, I do want to say that our prayers continue to go out to Bridget, the mother of Giovanni, and the entire family as as they struggle during this very difficult time. And we pray that blessings are bestowed upon them, and we're here to hopefully give them some information that will give them closure at some point. Before I get to where we're at in the investigation currently, I think it's important to go back and start from the beginning.
Yeah, let's hear that.
So on Thursday, July 31st, there's communications between Giovanni and his cousin, Latrell Hearn, about Latrell picking up Giovanni, who's in Charlotte County, and taking him back to Brevard County, where Latrell lives. They're trying to figure out the details. At 5:41 p.m., Latrell texts that he's going to have to use his grandmother's car, which is a white Malibu. At 8:30, they're still texting each other. They text about smoking weed. Giovanni says, I haven't had a smoke in a while because of court stuff going on in North Carolina.
See, that's the thing. Now, some people will say, man, why they want to bring that out now? The boy done died. And man, that's just disrespectful. That's not disrespectful. This is part of the teaching and learning portion of the class, because you have to know why. The reason why we continue to have domestic violence situations. Uh, we continue to have situations where parents and want to be step parents, you know what I'm saying, hurting and deleting and taking out little babies because they spilled some milk or they interrupted their video game. And they're telling you, stop inviting these dudes, stop making these dudes your boyfriend because you need a babysitter so you can go to work so they can sit in your house and watch your child. And they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing in their life. Uh, the reason why there's still like gangs and stuff in the streets, people selling dope, using dope. So I mean, the reason why things continue to happen and continue to increase at a rapid rate, STDs, blowing back up, is because nobody wants to talk about the reason why. And I told y'all in nursing school, I had an instructor who said, you ask why until you can't ask why no more because you want to get down to the root of the problem. Crying, marching, making t-shirts, releasing balloons is not going to fix the problem for the next person. It's not going to say, hey, I've been through that. Not the death part, not the tragedy, but the part of, wait a minute, my son, I think he smokes weed. Hold on, I think his daddy family. Oh yeah, I know. I chose him as his daddy or whatever, and he ain't about no good. And third, and his family ain't about no good either. God, I don't think my boy should be hanging around them. You see what I'm saying? Things like that. So you can make a educated choice, and not just a choice by, man, go kick it with your daddy because I'm tired of being with you because I can't handle you. Stuff like that. I'm just saying this is the perfect time. Everything needs to come out. Everything.
And he goes on to say, I definitely need a smoke. At 10:08 p.m.
Because the mama tried to make it seem like in the beginning, or maybe it was the news, I don't know, trying to make it seem like she didn't know much about that part of the family and she felt they did something wrong and he didn't like them and he didn't want to really hang out with them, but she made him go. That's what the original story said. But now you're hearing something different that, yeah, they were texting each other talking about, doing that 420.
Latrell, Jalen Washington, and Zachary Cummings start heading toward Charlotte County. Zach Cummings is the driver of the white Malibu at the time. During interviews, Latrell tells detectives that not long into the drive, they start smoking weed in the car, and Giovanni starts tripping.
So now the question is, what was in that blunt to where he's tripping? Because only thing I could think of that wet, that water. I mean, I'm going back to the 90s though. You know what I'm saying? 90s, early 2000s, when that was a big thing down here in Texas to make somebody start tripping. Maybe they put some, you know what I'm saying, some kind of juju in it or whatever, but they ain't just smoking regular weed at all.
They stopped the car at an unknown location along River Road before they got to I-75 because Giovanni needed to use the bathroom. The trail says that Giovanni is acting out and raging before getting back into the car. They continue driving north on I-75, and at this point, they're about 26 miles away south of State Road 70. At 1:55 a.m., Giovanni sends his mother a text saying help.
So this is how many hours is this later? This is a few hours later. That let's see, what did it say? It's text about smoking weed. I'm trying to rewind. Hold on. Start smoking weed in the car. Really don't say when, but that's okay. Then it's like a few hours later. Now he's texting his mama.
At 1:56 a.m., he sends another message that says help, followed by me. Jalen says Giovanni was tripping, telling them I am a demon and I will wreck this car, and says he will kill them all as he tries to open up the door while the car is still moving.
So I'm wondering, did Giovanni bring something with him when he went there? Because it seems like nobody else is in the car tripping, but except him. Now, I want to go back to the texting of the mom. No parent blaming, no victim shaming. But I know with me, I tell my kids, anybody, tell my wife, whoever, grandkids, mom and daddy's sister, anybody that's close to me. After a certain time at night, my phone goes into do not disturb. Don't feel like being bothered. I'm at home, relaxing, chilling. Don't bother me. Okay. Well, it's really not for the family. It's for like just people outside of my close family. And I tell them now, I have my emergency numbers on there that if there are certain people, like I say, if my family members call, the phone will ring. But if anybody else call, it'll go to voicemail. If you send a text, I won't hear it. So the best thing to do now, I may have my phone in my hand at the time, and if you text me, if I see it, I'll reply. But if you got to get a hold of me, do not text. Your best bet is to call. Because if you call, especially with my kids, if you call, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna hear and I can answer no matter what. So that's a rule with me. So everybody knows. So everybody in my family knows this. So to me, that would have been probably best. Now he probably texting, but things are texting out. First of all, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm sorry. Women sleep hard. Women sleep hard in the sun gone. They barely answer the phone when it's in the middle of the day. If they sleep, they ain't gonna hear. They ain't gonna hear the alarm clock. I mean, shoot, it's just what it is. But if you text, most times nobody really gonna hear a text because they're sleeping. It's not and they're not gonna wake up out their sleep. So that's just like I said, a tidbit of information to y'all. Let your family know after a certain time. Don't text. Give me a call. I remember one time my daughter got pulled over by the police for whatever reason at night, and she called me. And I told her, "Hey, if you ever get pulled over at night, call me." And she did, and had me on the phone, whatever, stuff like that. And I asked her, "Hey, is this legit police? This and the third. Make sure you're in a well-lit area." Blah blah blah, and everything ended up fine. And she would text me. I would never see her until next morning.
This happens while they're in Manatee County, close to State Road 70. Zachary, the driver, pulls the car over onto the side of the road on the shoulder, the northbound I-75 on the east shoulder of State Road 70. Jalen and Zach are in the front seats, and they hear that Giovanni has a knife. And we know that he always carried a knife. He had two knives. He had a folding pocket knife, and he had a blade, but this knife was still in the sheath. Never took it out.
Oh, damn. So yeah, this dude had some demons. maybe he was giving his T Jones some problems, and she wanted to send him down there to try to see if he can get straightened out. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else deal with him for a little while so she can get a break. I don't blame her if that's the case.
They said that Giovanni gets out of the car and begins running southbound in the southbound lanes of I-75. They see him in the middle of the northbound lanes and almost get hit by a truck.
Hey.
This is the last time they see him. He left behind his backpack and cell phone, so they took that and placed it onto the side of State Road or I-75 at State Road 70 at the entrance ramp on the east side. At 2:26 a.m., Luttrell calls his grandfather to let the grandfather know that Giovanni got out of the car. At 2:27, Luttrell calls Bridget, Giovanni's mother, but there's no answer.
Well, that's not. Well, yeah, because see, if my kids say my youngest were with like family members and something happened to them, and they try to call with their number, then it's not. And I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to see it. The matter of fact, I done had to where like family members have phone might have died or whatever, and they try to text, or they might, or maybe they couldn't make the call. They want somebody else to call, but they told them to use their phone. Couldn't use their phone. But it's also a way. I tell people it's also a way that my phone will ring if you do certain things. And I told my kids that too. Just in, told them that just in case, they can't call, but they is somebody else's number, then there's a way to make the phone ring. But other than that, just regular lay people, they wouldn't know what to do.
We know that they continue northbound on I-75. We have them stopping at the Flying J truck stop.
But he called like an hour later. And let me be a devil's advocate right quick. Let's say this story is like made up. So you probably say, how is it made up? Let's say something did happen between them while they in the car. And he jumps out and takes off. I mean, he jumps out, takes off, running for his life. And then they go kind of chasing him. And they can't keep up. They can't catch up with him. So he's running down this embankment and then mess around and maybe trips, fall, hit his head, falls in the creek, lake, and drowns. It could, what I'm saying, that could have happened too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that what the police, what the sheriff is speaking on is hearsay right now. They still gotta do the autopsy, and that can take some weeks to figure out and see exactly what happened to the brother. Because hell, he was gone for some days, man, before they found the body. So I'm sure it would decompose like a sun gun. But if there was like any blunt force or any bullet holes, they'll find it. They'll find it. Whatever's in the system, they'll figure out what was in the system, and then all this will be cleared up, like I say, in a matter of months.
In Hillsborough County off of I-4, and you can tell by their phones that they eventually make it home to Brevard County. At approximately 6:50 a.m., Luttrell calls Bridget again. She answers, and he gives her the information on what transpired that night. At 7,
Like I say, she sleep hard because at the time of the morning, she probably was up, getting ready to get up, and she answered the phone. Because my thing is, shoot, when I get up in the morning, I usually don't look direct, like right at my phone when I first get up. Probably get up, go to the restroom, this and the third. But you look at your phone like, dang, I missed these calls, missed these texts, whatever the case may be. But your boy ain't at home. Your boy ain't at home, and usually, like it's like female, they will look at their phone. So I don't know. I don't know.
13, Bridget calls the Manatee County Sheriff's Office to look for Giovanni on I-75. She says, from the 911 call that we collected, I received some missed calls from my son this morning. He was being picked up by a relative, and I was told that they left him on the side of the highway, that there was some type of an altercation and a knife was involved. She asked if a deputy could do a wellness check and make sure that he's okay. The dispatcher responds, you mentioned a possible altercation, but can you tell me again exactly what happened? She states, so I'm getting this from people who were there. He said they were in the car, and I guess they had given my son some weed. and my son doesn't normally do any drugs.
But that ain't what he said on those text messages.
Guess they had given him some weed, and then he started to freak out and said he wanted to get out of the car. And they were like, hey, just calm down, thinking maybe it was the drugs he was taking.
And they might have gave him something that he wasn't used to either. They might have did something trying to be funny. Who knows? Kids.
They kept saying, calm down and everything will be okay. And then I guess he got out of the car to go to the bathroom, and that's when I received the text saying, Mom, help, in that time frame, she said. And then he said that he continued to freak out and didn't know what was going on. They left him behind on I-75. Bridget is heading northbound on I-75 to try to locate her son. A deputy responds to that area, but finds no pedestrian on the interstate. At 7:21, a truck driver who was checking the load on his truck, it's a sod truck, pulls off in that same area on the east side of I-75, northbound, sees the backpack, picks it up.
Wow.
He travels to Tampa with the backpack.
And he was stealing.
Bridget sees that the phone is moving, but does not know that it's a truck driver that actually has the bag and has the phone. She eventually calls.
That's why you keep the track on. Like I say, man, them young kids, man, get the track on your phone so that way people, your loved ones can track you just in case you get lost or if something happened to you.
Tampa PD, and an officer responds to the area where the truck driver was doing some work, recovers the cell phone and the bag. This is about 9:21 when TPD recovers the phone and the bag. At 9:28, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office opened a missing person case. And we also learned that Charlotte County reached out to Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and they were instrumental in interviewing all the passengers in the vehicle, and as this investigation unfolded. They voluntarily give Brevard County the vehicle, the white Malibu that they were in. Brevard County processes the vehicle and finds no foul play, no blood, nothing, no evidence whatsoever inside that vehicle. Charlotte County reaches out to us once again to check to see if Giovanni had been admitted to any hospitals or possibly was arrested. And there was no sign of Giovanni in our system. On Monday, August 4th, Charlotte County requests the assistance of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office as they search the area that the trail says they dropped off Giovanni on I-75. They do an extensive search east of the interstate in wooded areas on both sides of State Road 70 and find nothing. On Tuesday, August 5th, Charlotte County comes back to Manatee County along with a volunteer team that have good cadaver dogs. Also, the Charlotte County Aviation Unit was flying overhead. We had 3 of our detectives assisting them with searching the areas that they wanted to search that day. After about 4.5 hours, they told our detectives that they're not really sure that Giovanni is in this area. Now, why is that important? We know that he got out of the car on River Road before he got onto I-75. So as investigators, they're starting to think maybe he never made it to State Road 70. Now, I can't speak for the Charlotte County detectives. I can't speak for Sheriff Permel, but they know the backpack was there, but there's no sighting of Giovanni in that area at this time. So Charlotte County is still searching, and they're searching hard in the area of River Road and I-75. But we know that that's not where he was at. On Friday, August 8th, about 3:15 p.m., Manatee County Sheriff's Office receives a call about a body located in a pond right off of I-75 at the exit ramp to State Road 70. We learned that a friend of the family had been searching the area and had located the body. I sent my entire homicide team out there along with.
All right, I'm gonna skip this because I want to get to the part where they kind of show a video where they saw him like running, and then we'll probably end it there. Let's see.
We found Giovanni at about 2:18 a.m. on the night in question on I-75, and we want to show that video now. It's difficult to see at first,
Got cameras everywhere.
so bear with us. Sir. Yep. This is the 44th Avenue camera located about 1.2 miles north of State Road 70.
That boy was running.
Right here, it's hard to tell, but you can see some movement over here on these are the southbound lanes. He's coming across right here. You see him truck having to get out of the way. He'll clear up a little bit here in a second. He has on a white shirt. You can see him coming across. There's a truck trying to avoid
Yeah, like right there. I don't know if y'all can see where I'm circling, but yeah, you see it right there.
hitting him. And you can point him out right here. He's coming eastbound now. He's walking back westbound. And there's a concrete barrier right here. And down here is where the pond is. So then we continue to check cameras. And we get lucky at a Lowe's, which is located on the west side of State Road 70. We have a camera that's pointing at the embankment now that he comes down at 2:19 a.m. Play that, Ben. I want you to stay focused right here.
But this is more clearer. Mm, that boy running.
Now that's a steep embankment. It's coming down there almost an uncontrollable sprint. If you've ever gone down a hill, you know what I'm talking about. But the pond is right here at the edge of that embankment. The important thing that I want you to see, there's no one chasing him. There's no one around him. In fact, when he's coming down that embankment, the vehicle is 2 miles away. So there's no one in this area with Giovanni. There's no one that's chasing him. He's by himself. And what we don't know is what happened when he hit that pond. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. The death is undetermined. So we know that we don't have anyone that comes down that embankment after him. They don't look for him. He's there, we believe, until he was located by the family friend on Friday, the 8th. We really don't know what happened once he got into the pond. And once again, anything that I say would be pure speculation.
So that's all we're gonna play for that. But this is a sad story. If this is anything, it's a lesson to, I want to say, the youth for sure. when kids are in school and you have these rules that state kids cannot take any medications without the nurse's school nurse supervision, can't give another student any kind of medication, can't take it. If they get caught, they can get suspended. And you might think, well, man, if I got a headache, allergies. I remember my oldest daughter had got some kind of allergic reaction, anaphylactic reaction or something. Don't know what it was at school. And the school could not give her an Benadryl or anything until they got a hold of either me or her mother. Luckily, I was in class, and where I was at in class, the reception was terrible. So she couldn't get a hold of me, but she luckily was able to get a hold of her mother, and they told her, yeah, give her the Benadryl, give it a shot, whatever, and it helped her. But it was like, man, but that's just the rules. The adults say that for a reason. You can't take anything if you didn't see it. You really just can't trust people, man. Your closest friends, your family, you just don't know. Everybody can't smoke the same thing, can't drink the same thing, can't eat the same thing. I can eat peanut M&Ms all day. If I give it to my grandbaby, she it'll kill her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a reason why people say, just don't take anything from anybody if you didn't open it yourself. It's just too dangerous. Anything can happen. And like I said, this is another thing. I mean, yeah, I'm a person to say, saying don't do drugs, don't smoke weed, don't drink, this and the third. I'll tell you that all day. But whatever you're gonna do, make sure you know what you're doing, man. You just gotta be careful, man. There's no blame in here. There's no talking down, looking down on anybody. Shoot, people gonna be people and they're gonna do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta pray and hope that you can live through it and be able to tell a story when you get old and talk to your kids and grandkids about it. But anyway, sad story. Like I say, rest in peace to the young brother, and prayers and condolences out to the family, man. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.